I ain't ask you all that.
Right. Okay.
You know?
Parents love that one. I asked you all that. I'm like, you right.
Yeah. It's like, I didn't ask you what you want for dinner. I said, this is your dinner. And it's like, you know what?
You know what? You're actually right. And you know what? I'm gonna eat it. I'm gonna eat it real good.
And it's crazy because, like, looking back on it as an adult, I'm like, damn, they were right. Because now half the time I'm like, I don't even know what I want for dinner, bro. Like, I wish someone would just be like, hey man, meatloaf. Sit your ass down here. And I'd be like, sweet. Beautiful people, welcome in for yet another episode of the Homie Love Hour with me, your host, Joe Bug. Now, I am super pumped for this. I know I say that every time I have a guest, but it's because I'm excited just to not only introduce you all to more people, but to introduce more people to the platform and to the community. So, this person and I met over Threads.
Yeah.
And we have been sending, inspiration in reels and everything back and forth. We finally nailed down a time to do this. Yeah. So it is my esteemed pleasure to introduce today's guest, Mr. Please Don't Irk Me himself, Theo.
Hello. It's always great hearing that. I promise you, it never gets old to me. Mr. Please Don't Irk Me.
Yeah. So I'm not gonna lie, when I think it was when we started following each other on Threads. Yeah, I thought it said "Please don't kirk me."
Oh,
and I was like, huh. I was like, I've never met another black man named Kirk before. No, that's kind of amazing.
No. Only know one myself. My God.
I don't know any. Okay. That's why I was like, okay, you're the first. There's always one.
No, but this is so exciting. I really appreciate you so much for having me on. You have no idea. This is my first podcast, and I'm so honored that it's with you because I think you're just amazing. I think your content is awesome. You seem like a very wholesome person. Seem like you got like good credit. Seem like you just got you got money in the bank. I'm so here for it. So.
Hey, let me tell you, I'm glad that's the persona I give off because neither one of those are true right now.
I love your honesty. I love your honesty. Listen.
Hey, I kept my credit up just long enough to buy a house, and then after that,
that was it. Listen, but you got what you needed. My Lord, you got what you needed.
Yeah, I hit that goal, closed on my house, and I was like, well, these credit cards are getting maxed out now. Don't have to worry about my landlord evicting me. It's just me.
Oh, Lord. The last thing we need. Lord Jesus, the very last thing we need. No, but I am like really super excited. Really, thank you so much for this opportunity.
Hey, thank you. Honestly, like I'm super stoked. Like, honestly, I even from the time that you joined this call to now, like your energy is so infectious.
Thank you.
Like, of course, it's like, I can't stay as monotone as I normally do.
I mean, it's sometimes it's a blessing and a curse because sometimes my personality can be really big, and then there's like at times it can be like really monotone. Like some people, they may get thrown off that like I'm a very, very shy person, and not many people would know that until they get to know me. But like the personality that everybody sees, Mr. Please Don't Irk Me, that's not the same personality that you get like all the time. It's really kind of like more of like when I'm on social media, when I'm doing. I mean, if I'm like with my family, like they obviously want to bring the best out of me, so I'm going to be myself. But if I walk into a room and it's people that I really don't know, you'll see me be as quiet as a mouse. My personality will really not come out because I mean I don't know nobody, so
Yeah.
I'm just going to be to myself. Now, once I open up, then people know like, oh, you have a big personality. I was like, yeah. Once you get to know me, you'll see that side of Theo, the Mister Please Don't Irk Me side. Yeah.
I, see, it's like I get that because like kind of like I told you, like outside of doing comedy, I don't really interact much with people unless like
Mm,
I really know them, and
yeah.
even then, when I'm sober, this is just how I sound.
Okay.
You
When
catch
you're
me,
sober.
yeah, oh yeah, you know, mushrooms are legal here,
Okay.
so
I never
after
had one before. It seems
uh
very scary.
no, it's amazing.
Like
Like,
I don't want to talk to people that aren't there. Like I don't want to see things and things. It just seems a
no,
little trippy to me.
nah, you microdose. It's just like drinking or anything else. You don't just go into it 10 toes down.
Okay.
You
Okay.
gotta
Okay.
you
Okay.
you test the waters,
Okay.
and
Okay.
then you learn your limits.
So
But
it's like kind of like a gummy or something like that when people do
yeah,
like I forgot what it's called, but
or like edibles.
yeah, edibles, yeah, something like that,
Mhm.
yeah. Because I stay away from those too. Nope, had that twice. The first time I learned my lesson, then the second time, obviously, I didn't learn my lesson because I did it again. But nope, haven't done it ever since. Nope.
And, I used to smoke a lot of weed, and then I stopped. And I was actually having this conversation the other day with a friend of mine, and
Uh-huh.
I can tell you the exact day that I stopped.
Why'd you?
Uh,
What day was it? Oh.
it was, I only know because I have the medical bills to prove it.
Okay.
It was Sep- September 12th, 2019.
Okay.
And it was because I was like, okay, I'm home from work.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna fire up the grill. I'm gonna smoke some weed, watch some New Girl, normal stuff. And I hit the bowl, turned on the grill, and I'm talking to myself in my head. I'm like, hell yeah, it's gonna be a fire night. I'm about to eat some. I'm about to eat these burgers. Watch some New Girl. This is gonna be amazing.
Uh-huh.
And then a little voice in the back of my head was like, tonight you die. And I was like, oh no, no, that's not how this goes.
No, that's
And
not the
then
way it's supposed to go. It's
yeah,
supposed to be a
and I'm
happy
like,
time.
bruh, I just turned on the grill. This could have happened before I prepped everything. Like,
Uh-huh.
this sucks. So I'm like, trying to calm myself down. And then I remember I started shaking and I started feeling really weak.
Oh wow.
So I went to the hospital and they took me in the back, ran all these tests on me, and eventually they were just like, "Oh yeah, like you're fine." And then I was like, "Hey, I'm really sleepy," but they wouldn't let me go to sleep.
Mm.
And finally they released me, and I was like, "So what was wrong?" And they were like, chances are you just had a panic attack." So since
Just to
then,
let you know you overreacted. Just to let you
yeah, yeah,
know.
yeah, just here's his $30,000 in medical debt.
Right.
Um, we're just gonna let you know, you're weak as fuck, bro.
Right,
Like,
like I'm gonna give you this little prescription. You take that to the guy, and yeah, you pay for that too, okay?
yeah, yeah. You're paying for bedtime, like you're paying the overnight rates, and I'm just
Oh
like,
my
man,
god. I didn't even know that like you get billed for people changing your sheets. Like
mm-hmm.
I didn't even know that.
Oh
Like a little
yeah,
fresh towel, $3,000. New
mm-hmm.
washcloth, 2,000. Like, hold on. Wait a second now.
See, but that is why, most medical, or sorry, not most medical hospitals, most religious hospitals, they have to do a certain amount of charitable work annually in order
Mm.
to keep that status.
Oh.
So, majority of the time, if you go to a religious hospital, you can ask for debt forgiveness, and they will write off your medical debt,
Really?
or at least a portion of it. And medical debt is the only debt that does not go against your credit score. So you can say, I'm going to pay $10 a month for the rest of my life, and they'll just say, okay.
Wow. Let me
Mm-hmm.
make a call after this, my lord.
Hey, hey, for real though, man. Like that's the stuff they don't tell you. Is like you think everything's good and everything's great, and then you get that bill, and it's just like, I'm not
Talk
even
about
gonna.
bills. I didn't even know how much an ambulance costs until I was in one. Next time I tell people if I'm dying, Uber me there
Yeah.
or take me in your car because I'm not going to start nobody ambulance. Never again.
Mm-hmm. I was in an ambulance one time, and it wasn't even by choice. It was strongly recommended by the doctor,
Oh.
and they charged me because I get car sick, and because
Mm-hmm.
I'm in the back strapped down, they gave me, I think it was like Dramamine or something to help with the sickness. They
Mm-hmm.
charged me for that. Then they
Probably
put
$7,000
bruh, they charge
minimum.
minimum. They're like, yeah, we gave you, and then they put the air tube, so they charged me for the air, and
not H,
then
not H2O. Jesus Christ.
yeah, the thing that we're all breathing. They're like, nah, we gave you that premium stuff.
not,
This is top
not,
dollar.
not the oxygen. Jesus
Yeah,
Christ.
and then and then they charged me the mileage, and the ambulance driver missed the exit. So she got off at the wrong exit and then had to go back around. And when I saw the bill, I brought that up and I was like, "Hey, she missed this exit, so I'm gonna need
I'm
y'all.
need a discount. Thank you very
Yeah,
much.
I need
Take
I
that
need
off
y'all
the bill.
to
Take it all
yeah
off.
take. I don't care if it's 800 feet or a mile and a half. I'm not paying that. Like,
Regardless.
and man,
Because I don't know what y'all think this is. I don't know
nah,
what y'all think this is.
yeah. And I was like, bro, this is crazy. And now I'm just like, man, take me to urgent care. I'm going in under a fake name. Like,
Absolutely.
I don't
Because
have
Urgent Care just
insurance.
sent me a bill, and I mean, God bless them. I don't know when they're going to get it, but I mean, maybe one day.
Yeah, like, hey,
Maybe, I
bro,
don't know.
like, you gonna have to get.
Listen, to be honest, it's in God's hands. He paid all debt. So listen,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
ain't got nothing to do with it.
yeah. You gotta get that one from God,
I
G.
know
I don't
really
know.
Jesus paid it all. I don't know where you're going to get that from. My
Hey, man. Hey,
bad.
I'm not a religious man, but I heard he works in mysterious ways.
Very
So
mysterious.
yeah, so
But
maybe
but
someone will
y'all
make.
gotta find out the mystery. It's not for
Yeah,
me to find out.
yeah,
Y'all
yeah.
gotta
Nah,
find
yeah,
that
nah. This
out.
this this ain't Scooby Doo. We're not
No,
solving any
right?
mysteries here.
Scooby Doo.
so so we start off every episode by asking this: how's your week been?
My week has been it's been very eventful. I will say that. But it's been good. I worked only half of the week and then I took off yesterday all the way to Monday. So I kind of have off this week, well, half of the week. But it's going good. I always say, life is great when you're above ground. The fact that I get to wake up, the fact that I get to breathe, um, the fact that I can make people laugh, bring joy to some people, that's just great in itself. And even though sometimes I can be very tired, like, kind of wear myself down and I don't know, try to be uppity all the time. Sometimes it can be, very draining, but it's a blessing to just be alive. That's the way that I look at it every single day. The moment that I get to wake up and I have the activity of my whole body, I don't have to depend on anybody for any help or anything. That's more than enough for me. So that's what makes life just great, just in general. Now, do I get irked a lot? Absolutely. Do I Sometimes do I want to get out of bed? No. Sometimes do I want to deal with people? No. But I have to, and with being a manager in the food industry, sometimes you have to be that person all day long. So when I get home, some people, this personality, I promise you, shuts down really quickly. So I can preserve my energy for the week so that I'm not really drained throughout the whole week. But it's been a really great week. I really can't complain. There's a lot of great things going on in my life as well. So my week is going fantastic. It's really going good. But I am
Oh,
tired, very tired.
yeah,
But it's going really good. How about
good,
you? How's
man.
your week going?
This week has been pretty eventful as well. So last weekend I did my first ever comedy festival.
Oh,
Yeah. So I celebrated my birthday.
happy
I
birthday!
Hey, thank you. I appreciate that. I did this comedy festival. It was amazing. Like it was to raise money for a local nonprofit
Mm.
where they help people get off the streets and find housing and
Oh
learn life
wow,
skills and all that type of stuff.
that's a blessing.
So getting to be a part of that was amazing. My cousin came, my girlfriend came. We all had a blast. We went out afterwards. It was a strange place that we went to afterwards, but it was it was a lot of fun.
Strange,
And
strange place.
yeah, but that's the only way I could put it. And it was like, so normally whenever I do comedy, I don't write anything. Very rarely do I prepare anything. It's just, whatever comes out is what comes out.
Are you
But
talented? Talented, my lord.
no, 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 no.
Not
I
many
will
people
tell
can do
you,
that. Go off the top of the dome. Not many people can do that.
see, but the whole thing about that is messing up when you're in practice is one thing. Messing up in real time when you're on stage, something
Ooh,
completely different. Yeah, the
ooh,
crowd the
Lord.
crowd does not care.
The crowd does.
And
They do not
no,
and will not care.
no. And let me tell you, man, when you have a joke in your head and you're like, yeah, this joke is gonna hit, and then you do it on stage and it bombs, and it's just like
That's probably the worst feeling ever. Like not
it
one. So y'all just gonna stare at me, not chuckle, not
yeah.
once. Crazy
Yeah,
work.
it's like it's it's like every time I it happens, I feel like one of those pets from the Sarah McLaughlin commercials. All I hear is like "In the Arms of the Angels," and I'm just like shaking on stage. Yeah, yeah. I just want to. I'm like, yeah, maybe I should have practiced that, but
Right. Or maybe do different ways that it could
yeah,
hit or miss. Write
hey,
it
but
out,
it's like,
edit it.
but it's like when it's your sense of humor and
Hmm.
you're writing the joke, you're like, this is gonna hit, and
Hmm.
then when it misses, it hurts that much more because you're on stage
Yeah.
and you know bombing is a lot like shooting your shot at a person that you think is really attractive, except it's a room full of people and there is a literal spotlight on you.
Okay.
Yeah,
One against 100 people instead of that one on one. No, that is
yeah,
very true. That's very true. Yeah, that's just
yeah.
like telling a story to somebody when you know the story is really funny, and then you get to the funny part and you're laughing and they're not laughing. You're just like, yeah. So that was the joke.
Yeah, and they
Just to
look at
let you
you.
know.
They look at you and they're like, I've done that where like I tell a story that I think is really funny, and then
Mhm.
someone just looks at me and they're like, I don't get it.
No, no,
And I'm,
because no, 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 no. Now you got to fight me because there's no
yeah,
way that I gave you a 5-page essay on this whole joke and you're just like, yeah, don't get it. What the hell do you mean you don't
nah,
get it? The
nah, you,
punchline was very clear. What are we talking about?
yeah, it's like no, we're starting this over.
No,
You are going to
right?
get it.
We're gonna start from the top now. Tell me where I lost you, okay? Just let me know where the dots did not connect, please.
Yeah, it's. I got this dry erase board. We're gonna connect the
No,
dots in real
we're
time.
gonna go. So we're gonna do MX plus B, okay?
Yeah,
And then we're gonna carry the one. Are you still with me? You with me? Good. Okay.
yeah. By the time we turn around, they just got up and left the room.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my
They're just
god.
like, yeah. So we're done. I'm like, okay, that's fine. You're not my friend anymore.
There was one time I was doing a show. Luckily, this wasn't me who bombed; it was someone else.
Oh,
And
not you watching somebody. Oh Lord.
dog, I'm not gonna lie. This girl said the joke, and I'm sure in her head she was like, "Hell yeah, this is gonna crush." Dead, She bombs.
Oh no.
And then she kind of stood there for a second.
Oh.
And it was these two older ladies sitting up front. And one leans over and she thought she was whispering. She was like, that heifer thought that was funny. I was like, okay. And the girl just looked at me and into the mic. She goes, okay, I'm done. And then just handed me back the mic and just walked off.
My feelings would be so hurt. Oh my god! Imagine
Yeah.
somebody just like, yeah, so I'm done. Yeah, so
Yeah.
this was fun, guys. Thanks a bunch for having me. Appreciate it.
I yeah, it's just like, all right, well, uh I guess I guess I'm done. You guys aren't laughing. My
That'd probably be
therapist
my
is
worst nightmare if that happened to
oh
me. I'm like, are y'all kidding me? Somebody could at least fake laughed or not, because there's one thing I don't like is an awkward silence. I really don't like it. There's two things I really don't like is an awkward silence and a slow clap. Can't stand both of them. Cannot stand them. So
awkward
if you,
silence and slow clap.
so if somebody literally, if y'all didn't laugh, I'd be like, all right, so there's no point of continuing because I had a better joke, but this was really my top number one joke. So
Yeah.
I was hoping that was going to open y'all up a little bit, but it never happened.
I'm not gonna lie, I completely forgot about slow claps. It's like oh man.
I
I'm
hate them
blanking on
so bad.
I'm blanking on homeboy's name. He was the lead actor in Rock. Um,
In
I
Rock?
yeah. Oh my god, I
I don't think
gotta.
I don't think I know that one. Oh my lord, please forgive me.
This,
You better have a computer available, my lord.
the- I'm on the computer.
Oh, you
What's his
are?
name?
Oh
Yeah.
wow.
Charles S. Dutton is his name.
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah, okay, okay, okay.
Yeah, it's kind of funny because he looks like a rock.
Oh,
Um,
little Geo dude from
yeah,
Pokemon.
yeah, yeah. Like he looks like the head of an onyx. Like it's pretty
Oh,
crazy. But he did a
that's
movie
so
called
disrespectful.
Look. It's like I I feel like if you can't handle being roasted, you shouldn't roast other people. And like
That's a word.
I grew up in a black household, so I
Mm,
spent my all of my formative years getting roasted
yeah,
mercilessly. And it's like my sisters didn't care, my brother didn't care, and
they
like I went to school.
both of my siblings did not care. You're
Yeah,
crying. Let me continue.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's like I'm gonna break this sadness out of you. And, so it's like I got no problem roasting people because if someone is good enough to roast me back, I'm just like, okay, it is what it is. And
Right.
also, I don't think Charles S. Dutton would ever be watching my podcast and be like, you know what, that was disrespectful. so, so I
This
think
might be
I'm
the one time we say this person's name, and he's gonna come up on his feed just
yeah.
randomly at this exact part. He's gonna be like, "They were talking about me." Oh my god!
It's gonna be like,
Because you know
it's
how
gonna
this
be him.
algorithm works. You say one, I can say toilet paper. How much want to bet? I get off here, go on Facebook. We're going to see Charmin. Literally, the first thing.
See, it would be even funnier if Charles S. Dutton was like really active on TikTok and
Mhm.
did a reaction video to me saying he looked like the head of an onyx.
He's gonna be like, what does that mean? Well,
Yeah.
did you Google Onyx yet? No. You
Oh my
probably
god.
should.
Oh, he's 74. That man don't care.
No, probably
He's
not right now. I mean, he's done
yeah,
probably so much in his life. He's like, let them talk about me. If it makes
he's
them happy, let them do it.
yeah, he's probably still trying to figure out how to work a DVD player. He's fine. We're good. But
A DVD player is really wicked because you at least could have said Blu-ray. That's really great.
Nah, it's like, how elderly
We have
people
come
are.
so far. Oh my god.
Like elderly people are always like 20 years behind whatever is popular in technology. Yeah,
They
like
really are. They really act like they didn't like start. I mean, especially when it comes to cell phones. I'm just like, you guys progressed with that. Y'all evolved with that. So I'm trying to understand, how did you guys get left behind? You guys would be happy with the flip phone for the rest of your lives, and that worries me very much
yeah,
so.
it's crazy because like there are elderly people where I'm like, dog, you had a full-time job when the first cell phone came out. You were doing cocaine and listening to Rick James.
Lines of cocaine.
Yeah, you were wearing patent leather and putting Jerry curl juice in your hair.
Okay, a
But
little bell bottoms,
yeah,
some,
yeah, but like I hand you an iPhone and you're like, I don't know what this is.
And I'm just like, all right, okay, please go to hell because I need you to really get your life together, please. Because no, we're not doing this today. Parents call over the simplest thing. How do I turn this thing on? Did you press the on button? Do you know where it's at?
That's the crazy thing to me. Is like, I saw this elderly dude driving a brand new Tesla, like brand new. And I'm like,
I'm scared.
but I'm like, he got out and he pulled out a flip phone. So I'm like, how do you have the wherewithal to operate a fully electric vehicle with GPS, satellite navigation?
He probably doesn't know, to be honest. He probably doesn't even know.
That's even
He's probably
that's
just,
even scarier.
He was like, well, how do I turn it? Just show me how to turn it on and off and how to change the gears. Is there anything else I really don't need?
Yeah.
I can't even stand a Tesla, Lord. Oh my God. Anytime I see one coming, I'm just like, why are you here? Oh my God. I hate a Tesla.
It's like looking at a bumper car.
It really, especially that new one, the one that looks, that is really uncalled for. It's like chrome, and it's
The
like kind of
Cybertruck.
long. Yeah. That it's like the new fad now. Like, unfortunately, it's like everybody has one.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of crazy because every time I see one, I'm just like, bro, like you saw that and was like, hell yeah.
That's it. You literally looked at it, was like, this is the one. And it was never it. It was never
Yeah.
it.
It's like
People irk me so bad. Oh my God.
I'm gonna drive this to work and the guys in finance are gonna love it.
And it's only gonna be those guys because I'm looking at you like you're dumb.
Yeah.
Very dumb.
I imagine it's like a lot of the guys who drive those trucks, they're either like newly divorced or they're in the process of getting a divorce. And it's like, what are the kids doing these days? Cybertruck.
Thank you. And that's it. I really hate that truck. Every time I see it coming, I'm just like, why are you here? Like, and why do people think that you just, like you said, they look at that car and be like, you know what? This is the one, you guys. Just looking around at everybody. This is it, you guys. I like this one. And we're just like, why? Why? Well, why you like that one? Give me 3 reasons why you like it. No.
Yeah, you saw that truck and he's like, I'm going to my son's PTA meeting tonight and I'm going to get my ex-wife back and we are going to fix everything.
All because of this truck. This truck is the glue to hold everything together.
That's kind of funny because that truck is held together by glue. It's pretty wild.
Like Max. Like there's nothing else. And we're not talking Gorilla Glue. Like we're talking Elmer. Like we're not talking we're talking about, and we're talking the purple paste one, the one that rolls on. Like we're not even talking about the liquid one. No, definitely not. No.
Because at least with the liquid Elmers, you could put it on your hands and do this, and then you'd peel it off and be like, "My skin is peeling." But the purple one, that was construction paper specific. And then even then, it didn't even stick. You would just have wet construction paper. Like,
first of all, you took it back with putting the thing on our hands and like rubbing our hands together and peeling it off. That is We grew up in such a great time. Beyond all the social media stuff, beyond
Oh
like the
yeah.
internet and all that stuff, like we really had a great come up. Like we really did. I really think that we had the best of childhood. And of course I know our parents probably did as well. But like it's really refreshing to know that we were outside. Like we hit that fire hydrant. We were running around. We were, throwing the football, playing basketball. Like we really enjoy being outside. Running to your friend's house, knocking on the door, all scared, talking to somebody's mom or dad, like, "Hey, can so and so
Yeah.
come out to play? Can so and
Yeah.
so come out? They can't." Okay, well, tell him I said hi. And then they're like, "No, so and so on punishment. He ain't coming out nowhere. And tell your
Oh,
mom and tell your dad he ain't coming outside." You're just like, okay,
dog.
all right, okay.
I had a homeboy.
Mm.
This man stayed on lockdown.
Dang, what was he doing?
I don't even know.
What type of life was
Like,
he living, my
he
lord?
was. I thought he was chill, and then every time I would go and knock on the door, his parents would be like, they would just open the door and like he can't come outside. I'm like, okay, that's cool. And
But
then they would
like,
just look at me like, why are you still in my door?
he's like, yeah. So that's your cue to leave.
Yeah,
You see where I'm going with this? You see where I'm going
yeah.
with this?
And it's like it's so crazy thinking back to that, or like, it's like, where's everybody at? And
Mm-hmm.
you would ride your bike around until you saw a pile of bikes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Or it's like, hey, who's got a trampoline?
Yeah.
That was like all you needed. That was the
Mm-hmm.
childhood equivalent of like, hey, look at this sick new car I got. It's like, I got a
Right.
trampoline, I got a go-kart,
Yeah.
I got a bike with pegs, so I can get
Mm-hmm.
one person on there.
Or even when like games first came out, because even when like PlayStation like hit the scene and things like that, people were
Hmm.
still playing games, but they were still having their time outside.
Yeah.
It wasn't like it is today, where they're just like stuck to a screen for so long. Because I mean, with these kids, even when I came in today, I was like, the kids were actually outside playing. I was like, interesting.
Hmm.
Haven't seen y'all do this in a while. I didn't even think it was possible. But like to see them outside and playing football, and one kid apologized because he threw the football and it like hit my car. I'm just like, I'm just glad you guys are outside. I'm
Yeah.
glad you guys are safe. I'm glad you guys are having fun.
Hmm.
Especially when the street lights come on, stay on the porch, or make sure I can see you.
Yeah.
As you're going
They
down the street.
I remember those, like, we couldn't go anywhere by ourselves.
That
If
too.
one of us was going somewhere,
Mm-hmm.
all the
All of us were
siblings,
going.
all of
All
us
of
had
us.
to go.
And,
And it
and, and
was
me being the youngest, they used to always, my mom and dad used to always throw me around to both of my siblings. Go with your brother. Go with your sister. I'm
yeah.
just like, I don't like what they about to do. I don't care. Go with them. Okay. All
I
right.
ain't ask you all that.
Right. Okay. Parents love that one. I ain't asked you all that. I'm like, you right.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, I didn't ask you what you want for dinner. I said this is your dinner. And it's like, you know what?
You know what? You're actually right.
And
And you know what? I'm gonna eat it. I'm gonna eat it
yeah.
real good.
And it's crazy because, like, looking back on it as an adult, I'm like, damn,
Mm.
they were right, because now half the time I'm like, I don't even know what I want for dinner, bro. Like, I wish someone would just be like, hey man, meatloaf, sit your ass down
Right.
here. And I'd be like, sweet, okay, cool. I ain't even got
Now,
to question
now
it.
listen. One thing I learned now is when parents said we got food at home. My lord, because because when I go past like some fast food, like I love Popeyes, love Taco Bell, right? So when I go past, I could go in there and I'm just like, well, Theo, do you have Taco Bell money? Do you? Do you have Popeyes money? You don't. We got food at home. You
Yeah,
better make something
we
at home.
we got Popeyes at home,
We gonna make it work at Popeyes at home.
bro. We don't even have a Popeyes up here, and yeah, yeah. So, y'all have Church's Chicken, right?
We do. It's not that much so much in Philly anymore. It's really not
Yeah.
there. I think they kind of
Okay.
took all of them away because I really
Mhm.
don't like church's chicken. I think church chicken is like bottom of the barrel. I can't take it. I can't.
Okay. See, I used to only go to Church's Chicken for the biscuits.
Oh, great biscuits. Great
Yeah,
biscuits,
but
for sure.
I'm gonna see. I need to see where the nearest one is. Okay, so there's one. Let me see how far away this is from me.
I'm screaming.
So as soon as I click on it, it's got 3.5 out of 5 stars. So that tells me it's right where I need to be because people hate it. It's got
That's pretty
1,400
good for
reviews.
Church's Chicken. That's very good.
No, it's a Popeyes. I was trying to
Oh,
find
it's
the
a
nearest
Popeyes.
Popeyes.
Oh, okay. That's pretty good
Yeah.
for Popeyes too. It's pretty good.
Well, it's like
You ain't gonna get a 4-star at Popeyes. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, it's 96 miles away.
Ooh.
Yeah, no, I'm not doing that. But
No, not for no pop in the eye. No.
no. I went to last time I was in Denver. I was in East Denver, which is like most people call it the hood, but it's similar to where I grew up. So I'm like, this is nice. And I saw a Church's Chicken, and I'm like, God damn, I would go for a chicken tender box and some biscuits. And it was right next to like this like really rundown motel. So I'm like, okay, the food better be hitting.
Well, the food has to be popping at that point.
Yeah.
The more dangerous the area, the better the food is. I don't make the rules; I just enforce them. That's it.
That's life. Right. And like I go in, and the manager was like that one kind of hefty white lady who works at every fast food chain, where she runs it like she's still in the military. Like they had one of those working, so I was like, okay, like checking boxes for me, right? And I look over in the corner, and there's this older black dude eating his food, and I'm like, well, okay, we're getting there. I go to order my food.
We're getting there.
I go to order my food, and the young girl working the register, I'm like, hey, how's it going? She just looks at me. She goes, what? And I was like, okay, perfect. Like,
this food about to slap. Oh my God.
I order my food, and it comes up, and I go to sit down, and this young lady, a young entrepreneur, comes in the door. Wig all the way messed up. Oh. Like, it looked like she just...
I don't like that for her.
The best way I could put it, it looked like she just found the wig outside and was like, yeah. And it was summertime, and Denver gets, pretty hot during the summer, and she was wearing fur boots. And she comes in.
I don't like the way this is going already.
She like talks to the person who's about to order their food. They're like, oh no, sorry, I can't help you. And then she talks to someone else at the other end of the restaurant, and I see her walking down towards where I am. So the older black guy stands up to go to leave, and she's like, excuse me, sir, can you buy me some food? And his reaction was so visceral, but it was so funny because it reminded me so much of home. I might have to cut this part out. But he was like, bitch, you want me to buy you some food? He was like, we in the Church's Chicken. He was like, I'm fucking struggling same as you. You want me to buy you some motherfucking food? He was like, you better be sucking dick or something. And I was like, can I get my sweet tea, please?
Y'all forgot my honey mustard. Napkins. If anybody has ketchup, anything.
So I'm just moving stuff around on my tray to make noise because nobody's saying a word. And then
Like, why did it get so quiet?
And then she was like, she was like, oh, so like, she like, you'll buy me some food for some ass? And he was like, bitch, if you don't get your dirty ass away from me, he was like, you should have got a fucking degree. And then he stormed out. And then she looked over at me, and I'm like, oh God, like, I got nothing for you. So she comes down there. So I immediately
Oh my Lord.
I pull the I don't speak English card.
Why are we like this, people? We have to get our lives together.
I'm like, but like, you know, and like in a very real way, I related to what the dude said. Granted, I wasn't gonna respond like that.
No,
but,
not like that, Lord. No.
Yeah, but
that's
you know,
very
like,
excessive.
yeah, he went straight to 15.
Yeah, that was a lot. That was a lot.
Yeah, and you know, I'm just like, bro, like, I'm eating at a Church's Chicken next to a motel. I'm clearly not doing the best right now either. Right. I can't afford to buy you food because I could barely afford to buy myself food.
Right, and I'm so sorry that I can't do this for you. Like, it really saddens me.
So all this is going through my head, but what I said was no comprende. Like, I don't speak English. And then she just stood there staring at me. And then she was like, un dollaro. Give me $1. And the manager like looks at
now
the girl.
You're not getting nothing.
Yeah, I'm like, you didn't even try to speak Spanish.
No,
okay?
you're not getting nothing from me. Dollaro is really crazy. Now go to hell. Now go to hell, like, because obviously it's very available right now. Go to hell.
Yeah, and I'm just like, I'm like, nah, I'm good. And then she sits down like 2 seats down from me and takes off these fur boots, and she's not wearing socks, which also really bothered me because I'm like, you're wearing fur boots in the summer,
and no socks
in the summer.
Okay.
And
okay,
those boots were not new. Like, you're just like, you know what?
Not fresh out the box. They
no, you swamp footing it up, and now you're asking me for un dollaro. Yeah.
That's wild work to really do that. But I mean, I understand circumstances. I get it. You know, I definitely get
it. Hey, you know, it'd be like that sometimes.
Sometimes.
And then, hey, the funniest part was it's dead silent in there. Everyone is gone except this girl and myself. And I'm eating my chicken tender. And for a brief second, I forgot that she existed. So I break my biscuit open and I put a chicken tender and some fries and a scoop of mac and cheese in there. And I make this biscuit sandwich and I go to bite into it. And I'm fully enthralled in this biscuit. And out of next to me, all I hear is
enthralled is really crazy. I'm sorry. Yeah. You are taking me down. Oh God.
So like I'm fully like involved in eating this biscuit, and like for a brief moment, she it was like I felt like I was talking to a child. She just goes,
no.
She goes, damn, that look like it tastes good.
It does.
but again, I couldn't respond because I'm pretending like I don't speak English.
Oh, that is true. Because they no comprende.
Yeah. So I look at her, and I just turn back and I take a bite of it, and I'm like, damn, this shit is hitting. And then
Think it's top tier.
Yeah, yeah. And the girl is like, what? 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 And I turn, and the manager, this portly woman, is standing behind the counter, and she's just holding a cordless phone in her hand. And the girl's like, I ain't even do nothing. I ain't even do nothing. Like, what you calling the cops for? I ain't even do nothing. I'm not bothering him. He don't even speak English. And the manager looks at her and then looks at me, and she goes, "Sir, is she bothering you?" And I was like, "Nah, she's fine." And then I continue to eat my food, and then I just feel this girl like I just feel this girl like staring daggers into me.
Oh my God.
And I turn to look, and she looks betrayed. Like
Why would you
like
ever? Why would you do that to me?
it was
Why?
it felt like Diary of a Mad Black Woman when Shamar Moore was carrying homegirl stuff out the house. When he
Oh
was like,
yeah.
yeah, it's just like, yeah. And that's what it felt like. Like she just looked so shocked. And she looked at me, and
Ah!
she looked at the manager, and the manager like hits the call button, and she was like, "You ain't even got to call him. I'm leaving. I'm leaving." And then she turns to me, and she was like, "Nigga, I can't believe you speak English."
Do you know if I was there, I would have made that situation so much more worse because I am really bad at holding my facial expressions. It's really, really, really bad. So knowing that, like you said, that the no comprende, that would have took me out, and I really would have been on the floor. And she would have looked at us crazy, like, "What he laughing about?" I'm gonna be like, "No comprende, no comprende." Right
No,
along with you because we in this joke together, my lord.
no say. It's like, but also it's like, for a brief second, I appreciate that she just took me at my word and was like, "Oh, he doesn't speak English." But
Yeah.
also, it's like the manager is white, the staff is black. Who took my order if I don't speak English?
That's the first thing I was going to say. I'm about to say, so nobody remember taking his order? Nobody?
Yeah, it's like did
Not a
he just
soul?
order?
Okay.
Did he just order online?
Right.
Also, I don't
Did he
think
order on?
churches has an online ordering thing.
I mean, they probably do now, probably. You know, churches, even though, was churches one of the last ones to roll out for like fried chicken?
Nah, I don't know. I would have to. That would have to be another episode where we just do research on our favorite fried food places.
Oh my God, man. I will always say, you know, one that I really don't like that everybody just really thoroughly enjoys, which I really think is trash. Chick-fil-A. Trash, trash, trash.
So what's kind of funny about Chick-fil-A?
Hmm.
I had to do a report on them, and it was accidentally leaked that every, I believe, 3 to 5 years, Chick-fil-A changes their recipes to make them more healthy, but they will not tell their customer base that, because they know that their customers will stop eating there if they find that out.
I
And
mean,
with that being said,
even
I
with me
still,
finding out, I'm still not going. I mean, I did have them today, but then it made because I needed something on the go, and I
yeah,
was just like, this is the reason why I don't get Chick-fil-A because it's really like mid. Like it really isn't anything that just like I know a lot of people rave about it. Like it's kind of like Starbucks or when like Chipotle was popping, everybody like I just gotta have Chipotle, I gotta have my Starbucks, gotta have my Chick-fil-A, and I'm just like. Yeah, it's nothing that's that deep for me that like I gotta have. But well, besides crab legs, if I want crab legs, I'm gonna go get some crab legs.
okay, all right, that's fair. I ran a seafood restaurant, so for the better part of a year, I had crab leg. I had surf and turf every single night, so I
Love a
can
surf and
I can
turf.
appreciate that.
Love a surf and turf, my lord.
Yeah, yeah. Like I, for the most part, like if I'm cooking for myself, one, I don't like cooking for myself.
Mhm.
So like on the off chance that I do, it's just like something quick and
Yeah.
easy. But like when I have people over, then I'll be in the kitchen like 2 hours prepping stuff.
Wow.
Like, oh yeah, like mashed potatoes, I do mine from scratch.
Oh, see
Like
now, do you like the red potatoes? Or do you like the brown, the russet ones? What are you doing?
it depends, cause like red potatoes with the skin on in there. Oh yeah,
Talk
yeah,
to me nice. See,
yeah,
you know.
yeah.
Because
I'll do.
I'll never do like a russet potato. It just doesn't do like anything for me.
It depends though. Like if I'm doing like cheesy mashed potatoes,
Hmm.
I'll do a russet, and like I boil them, I mash them. I'll do like garlic and cheese in those,
I love
as
a good
opposed.
cheese one. I
Yeah,
love a good cheesy mashed potato. It,
yeah.
it
I'll get
definitely does
like
something to my heart every single time. Every time.
nah, the crazy ones are smashed potatoes where they boil them and then they literally smash them and then they drop them in a fryer. Yeah.
No, top tier. Because at my job, they had that for a little while. And one time I went to see what all the hype was, and you really don't even need like anything crazy. You really just need like the good salt and pepper, probably some garlic or onion powder, and like they're like literally great the way that they are, literally.
Mm-hmm. I
Yeah.
used to I used to do that, and I would toss them in garlic butter.
Mm,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I
Oh
felt
yeah.
that in my spirit.
It's been- now that we've gotten off topic for the past 45 minutes,
but
speaking,
it was a good off topic. It was a
yeah.
great off
Oh,
topic.
absolutely. Speaking of the spirit and all that, you are in the process of launching your own podcast, correct?
Yeah, so I did. So here's the thing. So let's just kind of break it down. So I already have a podcast with my best friend. Her name is Jade. That's like my bestie. I call her by Peterson, which was her maiden name. And we have a podcast called I'm Not in the Mood podcast, which we launched in, I believe, October of last year. So
Mm-hmm.
I was already doing like street interviews pretty much. I was kind of like in the crowd and things like that. And this kind of happened a little bit before the podcast came about. So the podcast came about in October. I was probably doing outside interviews in like August or like September. So that was kind of like my lane pretty much. Um, so then it was cold outside, it became winter, things like that. And you can't do the outside interviews. Nobody wants to be outside when it's cold. Like that's very
Mm-hmm.
dead. So I told myself, I was like, I kind of wanted to rebrand a little bit. I kind of wanted to, bring a different side of the Please Don't Irk Me show and then do a podcast episode. So I've always been doing podcast episodes. It's just been with my best friend when I'm Not in the Mood podcast. But when I do my podcast, it's more just like, I'm not going to say it's launched, but it's always been a part of my life in some type of way. So I wouldn't say I'm starting new with launching it. I will say that, like, it's always been there pretty much. Yeah. I'm just
Okay.
taking like a different route for my platform and my brands.
Okay. Hell
Yeah.
yeah. And then with the street interviews, what do you normally like interview people on, or is it just you look at a person and you're like, hey, this person seems like they know a lot about music, or
Hmm.
like at events or things like that, or how do you decide what questions you're going to ask a person, or is it just whatever comes out?
Yeah, so what I do is I created about 20 to 22 questions that people can basically choose from. So I send like the whole outline of the show. I give them the questions, the time and the date and all that good stuff. And I tell them to choose 3 questions that they actually want to do. But I tell them to do questions that are going to bring out the best of your personality. I do tell them that like I do an icebreaker with you with a random question, and then we'll just kind of like start taping. Um, so it's really more about I kind of study the people, their platforms because sometimes some people are on, some people want to be on the show. Which this is no shade, Lord Jesus, y'all. Please don't take it this the wrong way. But like some people are our content don't mesh together. So
Mm-hmm.
like I know that probably you wouldn't be probably a great fit for my content, or I might not be a great fit for your content, and that's okay. Like you're not
Yeah.
everybody's cup of tea. Like you're not going to fit in everybody's norm, or you're not going to fit in everybody's lane. So I
Yeah.
do try to make sure that the people that I do have on, I am very selective of the people that I do have on the show. And mostly it's mainly the people that actually support me.
Mm-hmm.
So there was one time that I put out a video, Laura. Somebody I'm probably gonna get flack for this. So I put out a video stating to tell people like I understand that a lot of people want to be part of my show. I really count it an honor and a privilege. Like for people who watch my videos and say like, oh, that guy's funny, that guy's entertaining. I want to be a part of whatever he has. But my thing is, if you're not supporting me organically, there's no way that you're going to be on my show, because
Oh,
why would I
absolutely.
put you on my show and you're not supporting me? Because that sounds like you just want clout, or you just
Mm-hmm.
want your face to be seen, you want your name to be seen, and people get all caught up in this blue check mark and things like that. But like I'm still a person, I still have feelings, and I want to make sure that the people that are involved in my platform and involved in my brand support me, because and you know how I am. I think we both know like we're very very supportive of each other. It,
Mm-hmm.
it, it doesn't matter if like we're sharing things on threads or putting stuff on somebody's story. Like that is the type of person that I want to work with. Somebody that organically supports you. But if you're not going to organically support me, there's no way that you're going to be on my platform. Now I love you a
Yeah.
lot, but I would love you more as a viewer than I would to have you on just because you want to be seen. So I am very selective of the people that come onto my show. Um, I'm not saying that, like my DM is like racing with like people that want to be on, but
Yeah.
I am excited that when I do present the opportunity to people, that they're just like, oh, you're like hell yes, I'll be a part of it, and like that makes me happy that people trust my platform, that people trust me with interviewing them, and to know that my platform is really all about healing. I want to bring healing to people. I want to bring joy to people. I want people to watch my videos and say like, wow, that guy turned my day around, or I want people to know that, like, even at your worst day, come to the Please Don't Irk Me show. Come
Mm-hmm.
to the page. Watch an episode so that you can be filled back up. Like you said, I thank you so much that you said my personality is infectious, because I want that for everybody. That I don't want somebody to be around me and I'm not saying I'm trying to bear that pain or bear that burden of trying to bring somebody up, but I would just hope that when you're in my presence that you feel God, and that you feel peace, that you want to laugh, and that you want to have joy. So yeah.
Yeah, no, I think all that is super important. It's like a lot like what you said with the support thing. When
Hmm.
two people naturally gravitate towards one another
Hmm.
and they're supporting one another,
Hmm.
it I feel like it's much more genuine. So the
Yeah.
connection is there, as opposed to it's like every time I open threads or whatever now, it's
Hmm.
like, oh, who wants to collab on a podcast?
Yeah.
And then I go on their page or I go on their
Oh, you're talking
profile,
good.
and
Watch it.
hey, the second there's a few things I look for, and
Hmm.
every single time I'm like, this tells me that I should not work with this person. It's
Hmm.
like if I see stock trader, life coach, um,
Not
professional.
not those being triggers for you.
No, 100% they are, because I'm like, bro, this this just makes me think that you're not a genuine person.
Yeah.
This is transactional for you. And there are some
Real good.
relationships there are some relationships that I'm fine with being transactional.
Hmm.
But it's like when you are doing something like inviting a person onto your podcast and you're
Yeah.
giving them a platform for them to only care about, well, how many views are you getting on your show?
Yeah.
Like,
Oh.
and I'm like, bro, whether I'm getting
It's never
10
about
views,
that in the first
yeah,
place. It's never
yeah,
about that.
it's about, convening and communing with another person.
Yeah.
And the the podcast to me comes second to a genuine conversation. You know what I mean?
Hmm. Yeah.
And it's like some of the episodes might do really, really well. Some of the episodes, it might just be me talking to myself. But
Mm-hmm.
it's like if I'm not feeling it, or the person that I'm interviewing or I have on the show, it seems as though they're not feeling it, then I feel as though we've either one, wasted each other's times, or
Yes.
two, like they're this episode is never going to see the light of day, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like that kind of bums me out, but like, you know, I don't I don't need a life coach. Like,
Right.
you
I'm
know,
doing
like
pretty well.
I've yeah, and
Doing
it's
pretty
like
well.
I
I may get
I
it wrong
don't
sometimes, but not to the point that I need somebody to coach my actual life.
yeah, and it's like, you know, I appreciate people who make a living doing that.
Yeah.
But
Really happy
that
for you.
is not what I'm about. And
Mm-hmm.
then, you know, when you got people who are like, "Oh, well, like man, I saw this last night where
Mm-hmm.
someone was like, "Hey, we're looking to have people on our show, blah blah blah, doesn't matter." And then I went on the comments and, you know, without, you know, saying too much, they were like, if you want to be on our show, fill out this Google forms form. And I clicked on it and it was like, what's your handle? How many views do you get? How many followers do you have? What's your average uh, views on reels? And I'm like, bro, so essentially you don't even care who the guest is.
No.
You just want more views on your stuff.
Yeah.
And it's like, if that's what you want, just pay to boost your shit. Like,
Yeah.
but don't try to like use
That's what I
someone
did.
else. Yeah. Hey, let me tell you, when
But some people really don't get that. Like when you said that, like, and I think that's incredible that people are really stoked about views. Like, I think that's really incredible. But that lets me know that you're not doing it from the actual passion of your heart. That lets
yeah,
me know that, like, you're doing this just to be seen. Like, but for me, like, yeah, I'm happy that the views come. I'm happy that, like, I can look at a YouTube video and it'll hit 100 views. Like,
yeah,
fantastic. Because even though even and it's crazy because even though I have 10,000 subscribers on YouTube, that doesn't mean anything. Like, that really does not mean anything. And to
nope,
be honest, you're kind of still at the bottom of the barrel.
yeah, yeah,
Like, even though you have the 10,000, those, I mean, probably 75 of them are bots anyway. So,
yeah,
like, which is incredible. Like, so just because you have the numbers doesn't mean that a video is actually going to do well. Like, it really
hmm
doesn't. Even on TikTok, with having like over 40,000 followers, that don't mean anything because some videos will go viral, some videos won't. And I really hate the
hmm
ones that I spend a lot of time on. That those get like 0 views, and the ones that, like, I do nothing to. It's just like viral, viral, viral.
hmm
But, like, if it's going to be a number game for you, this is not the lane for you because obviously it's not going to be heartfelt, that people aren't going to connect with you, that people aren't going to be able to count you as a person that, like, they want to actually follow. But
hmm
if that's going to be your mentality the whole time, like, well, only got 5 views, I'm just going to give up. No, this takes a lot of work to really even make this work in the first place. It takes a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. It takes a lot of studying. It takes a lot of editing. It takes a lot of washing it out, rinsing it out, drying it out. Like, it takes a lot for these videos to really come out. So if you're just looking for views, this is not the place for you to be. Definitely not.
that's the truth, man. It's like, you know, everybody hopes they're gonna hit it big on their first one.
Of
Just
course.
like going full circle is just
Hmm.
like doing comedy. It's like
Yeah.
you think, you know, because you've seen other people do it, that you can
Hmm.
replicate what they've done. So you're like, I'm gonna get on stage, I'm gonna tell this joke, and it's gonna hit. Or you're
You're
like,
talking good.
I'm it's a or you're like, I got this idea for a
Mhm.
podcast. I'm gonna do this. It's gonna hit 1 million views. You know, I'm gonna have, you know, all this stuff. And I'm just like, nah,
It's not
it's
really
not
going
how.
to be like that. I mean, I
No.
do love your heart. I love where your mind is. I love how you're really excited about what you want to do. But
hmm
I also tell people, prepare yourself for the worst as well, so that just so that you're not stumped really hard when something doesn't go your way. Like, and even though I spend a lot of time, so I'm like, oh, this is going to hit real big. But then I'm just like, but Theo, even if it doesn't, be proud of your work. Be proud
Yeah.
of the final product. Be proud that you took the time to edit this yourself, because to be honest, I don't have a team. I don't have not one soul helping me. Not one soul. It
I
is
will tell
literally
you,
just me. Literally just me.
if you need a producer,
Listen,
not
I'll definitely let you know.
no, my producer,
Mm,
he does all this stuff. He does his thing, and
okay.
he's the one who came to me about doing this podcast or doing
Wow.
a podcast.
Mhm.
And if you ever are like, I don't really know where to go from here, I'll shoot you his information. He's
Yeah,
the
I
homie.
mean, because it is like a lot of people think this is just like I tell people all the time this like little saying. You guys see you guys see the glory, like the final product, but y'all don't see the story that really comes with it. There is so much that goes into before I even click upload, before I even
Mm,
click post, before I even let the people see what actually happens because sometimes I be stressed out, like trying to hit a deadline that I should have never set. I should have just said it'll drop this week. When it drops, it drops. But I just told them it's going to drop on Wednesday at 7 p.m. And some people look at me like, "Where's the video? Where's the video?" And I'm just like, "Yeah." So I'm only halfway through editing. I had
mhm.
a mental breakdown 3 days ago, so couldn't edit during that time either. But like, it really is difficult at times. But I love what I do. There will never be a time that I will look at this and be like, all right, Theo, like we're done. Because it's always been a passion of mine. It's always been to make people laugh, to be in a room with people, to make them laugh. So, yeah, sometimes the getting to the final product is a lot. Sometimes it's, very demanding as well. But when I see that final product, it makes me go more and more and more. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, hey man, kudos to you. And it's like that's honestly that's what it's all about to me, and it's
Hmm.
why I started this. Like, I talk a lot about mental health and
Hmm.
things like that, but it's like there's a spectrum to everything,
Yes.
and only focusing on the negative is very detrimental.
Yeah.
Because at a certain point, all you see is the negative.
Hmm.
So, having people like my friend Mary, my buddy Stevie,
Hmm.
everyone else, who's come on the show and people who are going to come on the show in the future,
Hmm.
this is a way that I think we can share, in the camaraderie and talk about where we've been, our life experiences, and ultimately
Hmm.
like where we want to go and where we want to take this.
Hmm.
And, it's like as few viewers as I have, as few subs as I have, like there are times where I look at the numbers and I'm like, oh man, this sucks. But then there are times where like
I feel the same way too. Justin, I really feel the same way too. I'm just like,
but
wow, that's terrible.
yeah, but at the same time, there are times where like people will text me or people will email me or they'll message me and be like, "Hey, I just want you to know like this episode like really hit for me and it really meant a
Mhm.
lot to me that you made this."
Yeah.
Or like someone I'll be walking down the street and someone will be like, "Hey, I have one of your stickers." And I'm like,
Oh,
"Wow, thank you." Or like people be like,
people
"Hey, I
don't
was
understand how
riding."
much that really means to you. They don't understand.
Yeah.
It could be just those small gestures to be like, "Hey, I see you.
Mhm.
I see you out here doing your thing."
Yeah, and for me, that's what it's all about is like creating that space where people can be an authentic version of themselves and to know like, hey, things might be tough right now. They might be tough tomorrow,
Yeah.
but at a certain point they're going to get better. We
Yeah.
just have to hold out until that happens. But also like we can't just lay over or turn over and just
Hmm.
stay in the negative. We
Right. Right. Right.
like I'm not a religious person. I grew up in the church, but Bible says faith without acts is dead. So
Yeah.
you got to put in the work
You have
behind
to
it.
put in the
So,
work. You have to.
yeah,
Because
and it's
I
like
think some people are under the impression that like, and I never count myself as like being a high and mighty person. Like I don't go off of like followers and things like that. But a lot of
mm,
people think that like this happened to me like overnight, and it was like boom. People
yeah,
want that overnight success, or people just want it to just happen for you. And I'm just like, well, it won't, because people have to see your consistency. People have to see that you're serious about this. And these
hmm
algorithms too. These algorithms, they don't play. If they miss you for 1 week, you're done. You're literally, especially on YouTube, you are done.
Yeah.
But like, I definitely get you. Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy because like people see me and they see the podcast, they see whatever, and they have this preconceived notion of like, you big money, huh? You big money, like you
No.
doing it, you doing it. And
Nope.
every
Not
time
at all.
I think of Brandon T. Jackson in Lottery Ticket,
Mm-hmm.
where he's talking to Bow Wow. He's like, "Nigga, I'm broke. I'm broke."
People don't understand this stuff takes money. Like
Bro,
it really, really does. It really takes money. It really does.
I'm not gonna lie. There's times where I get that invoice from my producer, and I'm just like, I feel like I'm back at Church's Chicken. I'm like, dog,
Oh my
I
God!
can't
Not
buy
back
you
at
no
Church
food.
Chicken.
But now I feel like the girl in the fur boots, where I'm like, hey, can I borrow $1?
No, seriously. Like, let me just get $1. I just need one.
maybe,
Uno.
yeah, $1. Can y'all like maybe buy me a bag of biscuits? Like
Okay.
anything helps, because I'm fucking trying out here. I'm broke.
I know. I am trying really hard. Like I am really, really trying. No, I mean, even sometimes when I see an invoice, I would say I don't see that many of them. I will say, depending on. I mean, obviously, when I do like podcast settings, that's the only time I don't edit like my own stuff. That's the actual producer right there actually editing it. But like all my promo videos and all that stuff, like when I do pay the people that are part of my platform, like people that tape it and things like that, like sometimes I look at them just like, God, thank you for an invoice, because it just lets me know that like I'm making this happen. And like sometimes I may look at it like, all right, it's a lot of money, I'm thinking, could we do payment plans? Maybe a little Klarna, break it up into 4 pieces, just to help a brother out. Can I give you 100 every 2 weeks? Just to see how this can go out,
It's like, hey, y'all boys got Afterpay here?
Right.
It's like, nah, dog.
Like, yes, I'm thinking in full. You're just like, okay, sending it over now. I guess I'll be eating ice cubes and packets of ketchup for dinner tonight.
Hey, man. I guess I'm gonna be vegan this week.
Okay, listen, something gotta happen. I guess it's a water diet. Whenever ready.
Man, see, that's why, like, I always keep protein powder here, and I'm like, if worse comes to worse, and I'm on my last dollar. Hey,
done.
I'm drinking protein shakes 5 times a day.
Listen,
I'm be out here.
I'm always here for a pack of oodles and noodles, a little ramen.
See,
jazz it up a little bit. Don't put the packet inside. Jazz it up yourself.
See,
boil a $17 egg.
Yeah, you eat that ramen too much. Your fingers turn into sausages, and
that part too.
You're out here. Like, yeah, everyone's at work. Like, why is Theo sweating? He had top ramen for lunch. His blood pressure spiking. Just
actually told this one guy that I used to work with, he used to bring it almost every day. Like,
oh no,
not the packet of ramen noodles, but it's like a red bowl that it comes in, and it's really spicy and things like that. And then he would come in with that, and then like hot Cheetos, and I'm just like, you're gonna die. Like tomorrow, if we go into a rush, I don't think you're going to make it through, and that really worries me. You're going to be really shaky. Your anxiety is going to go through the roof because you have a sodium level of 17,000. I don't like that for you. I don't like.
Yeah. It's like you should not eat a meal and then either be sweating or shaking afterwards.
No,
like that's horrible. Like,
right, and I'm gonna pray for you just to be clear.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's like at some point, like you're gonna be working, and then your vision is gonna go out because like your blood pressure is going so high.
Exactly.
I can't help you, bro. Like I'm not fast enough to catch you. So
I'm actually just not in general. So if you fall, I hope you get up like Donnie McClurkin. We fall down, but we get up. I really hope. I truly hope so. I really, really do.
Hey. So we missed most of the topics, but we're gonna do this again.
Okay, I'm here for it.
Hey, absolutely.
I love a
So
sequel. A little part
yeah,
two. I like
hey,
that. I
I'm
like that.
I'm I'm always down to run it back, especially again with the energy that you have and the positivity and everything of the sort. It's
Yeah.
why not?
Well, I mean, to be honest, I already said I count it an honor and privilege to be here, but
Hey,
your
same.
platform is just so amazing. Like, I believe that like your platform is just so peaceful. Like, it's so heartfelt. Like, I feel like you feel at home when
Yeah.
like you're talking, or even when I'm like watching your podcast and things like that. It's always great to see us out here just really doing it. So it's always just exciting that we get to collaborate, we get to
Mhm.
being on each other's podcast. I really wish you were in Philly. That would be so
Hey,
cool because I would
bro.
have gladly had you on the show.
Hey, at some point, who knows? East Coast ain't that far away.
Listen, it definitely for me. I'm broke, so it's a little far. If I if I can't walk, yeah, it's a little too
Hey,
much for me.
hey, I get that. Like, I was like, man, I'm so glad I live in such a small place. I was like, I'm riding my bike for the next 2 weeks.
I,
Like,
I wish I had a bike. If my job wasn't so far, I would definitely I would definitely take a bicycle to go there because I mean it's great for working out, it's great for energy just in
yeah,
general. But everywhere I go, I have to drive, so I have to have gas
yeah.
in my car, unfortunately. But yeah,
See,
but I mean, even being here when I seen that one episode, I think I commented on that one and you guys were I forgot what you guys were talking about, but it felt like there was no judgment with like any
yeah,
answers or anything. Like I felt like you could really be yourself unapologetically and
yeah.
you make people feel comfortable even as a host. So like I think you're already incredible. Like I
Hey,
love what's happening for you. Even when I see you get little gadgets, I'm just like, why I feel like I'm so behind with this
hey,
podcast equipment. Oh my
hey.
god!
I appreciate that. It's like
Of course,
the whole thing is like there's some person there like, oh, we just listen, we don't judge. And
yeah.
I'm like, bruh, that's nonsense. First of all, like
I'm
we
judging.
all, yeah, we all judge in our own way, but the
I'm
truth,
judging full pledge.
yeah, but it's like,
It's like, no, let me stop.
but the truth of the matter is like once you realize like we all mess up and we all fall short
We all fall short.
and but it's like once you realize that and you realize like it is a part of like the human condition
Yeah.
to mess up, but just like everything else you don't stay there.
Hmm.
Then you realize like, oh shoot, like I messed up, but now I can do better. Like
Mm.
I'm not where I want to be, but I'm making an
Right.
effort to get there.
That
And
that's all that matters. I think for
yeah,
me, as long as you're just making that effort to do, especially when it comes to your dream, because even people at work, I tell them all the time, where like you guys talk about certain topics, I'm just like, put a mic in front of you.
yeah, and it's
like
like, oh,
like talk like just talk even I won't say his name but he's my shift leader at work and he's always so energetic when it comes to sports and when it
mhm,
comes to movies and I was like just talk about that stuff and then he said I'm not that up on sports and stuff like that. I said, well, you always talk about a movie, you always talk about a score, you always talk about the music, just find a way to incorporate that. And I told him, I said, listen, when you make that page, send me the link. If I'm the only one
mhm,
liking it and commenting on it, it doesn't matter because I'll share that thing to somebody because we
yeah,
all need each other. We all have to start somewhere. But our passion, we
absolutely.
have to put that first at some point. Yeah.
Absolutely. So, with that, I think this is a fantastic spot to end it at a
Yes.
high note. So, Theo, tell the people where they can find you, what you got coming up,
Okay,
platform.
well, you
This is
can find
yours.
me. You can find me on Instagram. You can find me on. Y'all don't want to see my Facebook. Don't do that. You can find me on Instagram. You can find me on Threads. You can find me on TikTok. You can find me on what's the other one? I said Instagram. Instagram,
Mhm.
YouTube as well. You can find me on there, and every platform is pretty much. Please don't irk me. What I have coming up next. So I just did a podcast with Angie Stone's cousin that I just put out.
Mhm.
So make sure that you guys check that out. It definitely gets very juicy. It definitely and it's always fun. Like always, like I do on my show. I like a sandwich effect. We laugh and have the good time. Then we get more to the serious topics. If you want to cry, grab a tissue, we can. But we're always going to end off with fun, with like a game or something like that to kind of leave on, a light note. So yeah, check that out. I have videos coming out every single week. So make sure you guys check that out. Just now, today, I just did street interviews. So that's going to be coming out next week. So make sure you look out for that. So if you go to my YouTube page, just click subscribe, hit the bell so we can twerk a little bit. So you'll know every single time that I post, So yeah, I'm just really excited. So, and there's just random posts that I do on Instagram and TikTok and things like that. So if I'm not talking on the streets, if I'm not in my podcast setting, I'm talking about music or movies or something like that. So I'm always talking. So just come
Always
on over. Just
something.
stop by anytime you want to. If you need a laugh, come on over to the Please Don't Irk Me show.
Hell yeah. Well, thank you, Theo, so much. It's been
amazing.
Thank you. And also, like I told you before we started recording, you are my first melanated guest. But you won't be the last. Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah.
I'm starting a trend.
hey, we're gonna keep it going.
I appreciate that.
Next time we can talk about the top 5 gospel artists that we think know how to fight.
Okay.
Yeah.
I already got my top 5. They in my head right now.
Hey, I got to do a little bit more research. I got Marvin. I don't know. I feel like if BB and CeCe Winans teamed up,
I don't know. Not Mama CeCe. Probably not her. No. I mean, Mama CeCe is my favorite gospel singer. Lord Jesus.
Okay. All right. I'll have to do some research.
I'm about to say, if she fall, I will fight the person for her because you're not going to touch her.
Yeah, then it's just a jumping at that point.
Right? No, yeah, because obviously, I want a fair one. Give me 1-on-1 because you're not going to fight. You're not going to fight my mama. No, find somebody else. Find somebody else safe. Thank you.
Again,
no, but I really appreciate you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Of course. Thank you so much for coming on. This was kind of hastily decided, and it felt like I was in meetings earlier. You were in meetings, and then doing everything else. Street interviews. I was working on some behind the scenes stuff. With my business and growing that.
Yes.
But, we were able to make this work, and I'm unbelievably grateful. I'm so happy we got to do this.
Thank you.
We'll definitely do it again soon.
Yes, for sure.
From me to you to everybody watching, there's 3 things I can leave you with. Be good to yourself, be good to the world around you, and remember, above all, we love you, homie. We'll see you guys next time.